Time passed swiftly in a quarry, and Jason felt deeply connected to his new home. Each day was peaceful, filled with meaningful work and happiness with Lyra. Together, they continued exploring the ocean and helping Aquari thrive. But life beneath, the waves still held unexpected challenges. One morning, a worried Aquarian rushed into the research lab, breathing heavily. "Jason, Lyra, we need your help. Something strange is happening near the coral ridge." Jason and Lyra quickly followed the Aquarian to a control room filled with monitoring equipment. General Voris stood by the screens, his expression tense. "Look," Voris pointed at a large screen showing images of the coral ridge. They usually vibrant. Coral had started turning pale, losing its bright colors. Jason felt deeply concerned. It's coral bleaching. This happens when something stresses the coral. It could threaten all marine life around here. Voris turned to Jason urgently. "Can you discover what's causing this?" "We can't let it spread further," Jason nodded firmly. "We'll go investigate right away." Soon, Jason and Lyra boarded a small submarine and headed towards Coral Ridge. The closer they got, the clearer the damage appeared. The coral seemed lifeless and white, no longer vibrant with color. They collected water and coral samples, carefully observing everything around them. Jason felt deeply troubled. "This is serious, Lyra. The entire reef could die." Lyra looked worried but determined. "We must save it, Jason. It's part of our home." Back at the lab, Jason and Lyra analyzed the samples carefully. They quickly found the problem pollution was leaking from a hidden source deep below the reef. Jason knew they had to act fast. "We need to locate and stop the pollution immediately," Jason explained urgently to General Voris and King Maris. The Aquarians quickly agreed, offering all necessary support. A team prepared another expedition, this time deeper beneath Coral Ridge, to find the pollution source. Jason, Lyra, Voris, and a team of skilled Aquarian divers traveled carefully into deeper waters. Guided by their advanced technology, after several hours, they discovered a hidden crack in the ocean floor, leaking harmful substances into the water. Jason recognized the material immediately. "This is industrial waste," he explained to the team. "It's extremely harmful. We must seal this crack right away." Working quickly, Jason directed the Aquarians as they prepared special materials to close the leak. But suddenly, the ground trembled beneath them, shaking violently. Rocks began tumbling, threatening their safety. "Watch out!" Jason shouted, pushing Lyra to safety as rocks crashed around them. Voris quickly guided the team away from immediate danger. When the shaking stopped, they saw the crack had widened. The situation was worse than ever. Jason knew they had no choice but to continue working quickly, despite the risk. "We must act now," Jason insisted firmly, guiding everyone back carefully. They began sealing the leak again, working swiftly and carefully. Jason personally led the effort, showing bravery and determination. After intense effort, they finally sealed the leak securely. Jason felt immense relief, but he knew their work wasn't finished. "We must help the coral recover now," he said seriously. Over the following days, Jason and Lyra guided a huge effort to restore Coral Ridge. They carefully removed damaged coral and replaced it with healthy living coral, using advanced Aquarian techniques to help the reef heal quickly. Slowly, Coral Ridge began showing signs of recovery. The pale coral regained color, and marine life returned, bringing life and energy back to the reef. Aquarians celebrated joyfully, thanking Jason warmly for saving their precious reef. Later, King Maris summoned Jason and Lyra to a special gathering. He stood before a large crowd, smiling warmly. "Jason, you have once again protected Aquari from danger. Your bravery and knowledge continue to amaze us." Jason felt honored but humble. "Aquari is my home, too. Protecting it means everything to me." Maris continued, "We also recognize Lyra's courage and support. Together, you both symbolize what is best about Aquari unity, strength, and kindness." The crowd cheered loudly, showing their appreciation and support. Jason and Lyra felt deeply proud, knowing they had truly made a difference. Afterward, Jason walked with Lyra along a peaceful path, reflecting quietly on all they had accomplished together. "We faced another great challenge," Lyra said softly, her voice filled with admiration. "Yet you were fearless." Jason smiled warmly, squeezing her hand gently. "I was fearless because you were beside me. Together we can face anything." Lyra stopped, walking, looking deeply into Jason's eyes. "Do you ever wonder if peace will ever be permanent here?" Jason thought carefully before answering. "Maybe not always permanent, but as long as we stay united and prepared, Aquaria will thrive." She nodded, her smile returning brightly. "You're right, Jason. With you here, I believe our future is bright." They continued their walk, enjoying the peaceful beauty surrounding them. Jason felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that his life in Aquaria had true meaning and purpose. He had not only discovered an amazing new world, but had found love and family among the Aquarians. That evening, looking out at the thriving city, Jason felt grateful for every moment. Challenges would surely come again, but he knew in his heart that together he and Lyra and all of Aquaria could overcome anything. Their bond was strong, built on trust, courage, and love, ensuring Aquaria would always remain safe and prosperous beneath the waves. After the crisis with the Varathians, life in Aquaria returned to peace. Jason's bond with the Aquarians grew stronger each day. He continued his scientific work, exploring new areas of the ocean, discovering many new marine species, and helping Aquaria thrive. Yet something weighed heavily on his mind. One quiet afternoon, Jason sat with Lyra beside a large viewing window, watching colorful fish swim gracefully past. He sighed quietly, his mind clearly troubled. Lyra noticed immediately. "What's wrong, Jason? You seem worried." Jason turned toward her, looking a bit sad. "I've been thinking about my home Earth, my family and friends. They must be wondering what happened to me." Lyra touched his hand gently, understanding his feelings. "You missed them, don't you?" Jason nodded slowly. "I do, but Aquaria feels like home now, too. I don't know what to do." Lyra was quiet for a moment, then suggested softly, "Perhaps there is a way for you to send a message back home. Let them know you are safe and happy here." Jason's eyes brightened immediately. "Can we do that?" "We can try," Lyra smiled encouragingly. Together, they approached King Mars with the idea. The king listened carefully, understanding Jason's feelings perfectly. "We will help you send a message to your people, Jason. You deserve to have peace in your heart." With Aquarian technology, Jason recorded a heartfelt message explaining his experiences, assuring everyone back home that he was safe, happy, and had found a new home in Aquaria. The Aquarians carefully transmitted the message toward Earth, hoping it would eventually reach his family. Days turned into weeks as they awaited a reply. Finally, a response arrived. Jason stood nervously with Lyra and King Maris, listening to the message. His family expressed relief, happiness, and deep pride in his achievements. They understood his decision to remain in Aquaria and sent their love and blessings. Jason felt tears of joy and relief. He was now free to fully embrace his life in Aquaria. King Maris smiled warmly, placing a comforting hand on Jason's shoulder. "You have chosen us, and we choose you, Jason. Aquaria is your home forever," Maris said gently. Weeks passed, and Aquaria thrived peacefully. Jason and Lyra continued working closely, their bond growing deeper. One day, King Maris summoned them both to the palace. Jason felt curious but slightly anxious, wondering what new challenge awaited. When they arrived, King Maris greeted them warmly, smiling kindly. "Jason, you have done so much for our city. You have become part of our family. Now, I wish to offer you the highest honor Aquaria can give." Jason listened, feeling deeply moved. "What is this honor?" King Maris placed his hand gently on Jason's shoulder. "I offer you honorary citizenship, Jason. You will officially become one of us, a true Aquarian." Jason's heart swelled with happiness. "Thank you, King Maris. This means more to me than I can express. Maris turned toward Lyra, his eyes gentle but serious. And there is more? In our tradition, when someone saves another's life, a special bond is formed. Jason saved you, Lyra, and has protected our city many times. It is your choice, but tradition says you may form a lifelong bond with Jason, if you wish. Lyra looked at Jason, her eyes filled with warmth and affection. Jason held his breath, heart beating quickly. Lyra spoke softly but clearly. I accept this bond with joy. Jason, you have shown bravery, kindness, and love. I choose you. Jason felt overwhelming happiness. I choose you too, Lyra. King Maris smiled broadly, clearly pleased. Then it is decided. We will hold a celebration to honor your union. The entire city gathered for the joyful event. Jason wore Aquarian clothes, comfortable and elegant, symbolizing his new identity. Lyra looked radiant, her smile bright as she stood beside him. King Maris officially announced their bond, and the city cheered joyfully, celebrating their happiness. During the celebration, General Vorus approached Jason warmly. You have truly proven yourself one of us, Jason. Aquaria is stronger because of you. Jason thanked him gratefully, feeling true acceptance. He realized fully now that Aquaria had become not just his home, but a place where he truly belonged. Later, standing beside Lyra, Jason gazed out over the beautiful city glowing beneath the ocean. He felt deep peace and contentment. Everything he had faced and overcome had brought him here, to this perfect moment. Lyra held his hand gently, speaking softly. You made a brave choice, Jason. Do you ever regret staying with us? Jason smiled warmly, shaking his head. Not for a moment. I've found more happiness and purpose here than I ever dreamed possible. Aquaria is my home, and you are the reason. My heart is here. Lyra's eyes sparkled with emotion. They stood quietly, simply enjoying each other's presence. The underwater city sparkled around them, a living testament to peace, cooperation, and love. Jason knew he had made the right decision. He was exactly where he belonged, beside Lyra, surrounded by friends and a city that had truly accepted him as one of their own. Life in Aquaria held endless possibilities, and Jason was ready to embrace every moment with joy and gratitude. Jason Miller sat quietly in the guest quarters assigned to him within the Azulian Palace. Although still closely watched, he felt a sense of relief knowing Queen Lyra was reconsidering her decision. He stared at the intricate patterns on the walls, reflecting on everything he had learned since arriving on Azulian soil. Haley Green entered the room quietly, breaking his thoughts. Jason, Queen Lyra has called a council meeting tonight. She will decide your fate then. Jason nodded slowly. I hope our efforts have been enough. You've done everything possible, Haley said gently. They see your sincerity. Jason sighed. Deeply, I hope you're right. So much depends on her decision. That evening, Jason walked slowly toward the council hall, his heart beating quickly with anticipation. Haley and Mira accompanied him, their presence giving him strength. The hall was filled with Azulian nobles, all watching him closely as he entered. At the head of the chamber, Queen Lyra sat, her face calm but unreadable. Ambassador Miller. Queen Lyra began in a clear voice. Your return here has sparked much debate. Many still feel deeply offended by your earlier words. Jason stood tall, his voice firm but respectful. Your Majesty, again I offer my heartfelt apologies. I understand now more than ever the depth of the hurt I caused. Queen Lyra nodded slowly. Your actions since then have indeed demonstrated sincerity. Yet trust is fragile, easily shattered, and hard to rebuild. Jason stepped forward gently, speaking earnestly. I am prepared to do whatever is necessary to prove humanity's sincerity and rebuild that trust. Queen Lyra glanced thoughtfully at the assembled council members before speaking again. We believe a test of your sincerity and commitment too. Peace is necessary. You must assist our people directly to truly show your dedication. What would you have me do, Your Majesty? Jason asked immediately, ready to take any step required. There is a small Azulian settlement on the edge of our territory, Queen Lyra explained clearly. They have struggled greatly due to harsh conditions and isolation. If you truly desire to help, go there and assist them. Improve their lives in a meaningful way, and you shall earn our trust. Jason nodded without hesitation. I accept this task willingly, Your Majesty. You must leave immediately, Queen Lyra instructed. Haley, Green, and Mira will accompany you to aid your efforts. Jason bowed respectfully, feeling determined and ready. Thank you, Your Majesty. We will not fail. The journey to the settlement was long and tiring, but Jason felt energized by the task before him. When they arrived, Jason saw firsthand the challenges faced by the villagers. Homes were poorly constructed, food supplies scarce, and villagers appeared weary and discouraged. The village elder greeted them with cautious hope. We have struggled here for years, but few have come to help. Can you truly make a difference? We will do everything possible, Jason promised earnestly. Tell us your greatest needs. The elder explained the villagers' hardships in detail: poor soil, inadequate water, and constant danger from wild creatures. Jason listened closely, already forming a plan. Working closely with Haley and Mira, Jason began organizing improvements. First, they designed stronger, safer homes from local materials. Jason worked alongside villagers, guiding construction and sharing techniques that significantly improved their shelters. Next, Jason addressed the food shortage by introducing simple farming methods that utilize limited water efficiently. Haley and Mira taught villagers how to plant and care for crops that could survive harsh conditions. Days turned into weeks as Jason worked tirelessly alongside the villagers. Each day, trust grew stronger and friendships formed. He shared stories of Earth, listened to their dreams, and learned deeply about their culture and traditions. Gradually, hope returned to the village. One evening, sitting beside a small fire, the village elder spoke warmly to Jason. You have truly helped us. Your sincerity and kindness show clearly. Jason smiled gratefully. It was the least I could do to repay my mistake and show my true intentions. Myra added gently, You've demonstrated what humanity can offer, Jason. The village has greatly improved because of you. As the weeks passed, the improvements became obvious to everyone. Homes stood sturdy, crops grew steadily, and villagers smiled once more. The village elder decided to send a message to Queen Lyra, explaining Jason's success and genuine dedication. When word reached the Azulian palace, Queen Lyra was deeply impressed. She summoned Jason back immediately. Upon arriving at the palace, Jason felt hopeful yet nervous, knowing the queen's final judgment awaited him. Standing again before the assembled council, Jason listened as Queen Lyra spoke clearly. Ambassador Miller, your actions have truly demonstrated humanity's best qualities. Your humility, dedication, and genuine care have deeply touched our people. Jason bowed his head respectfully. Thank you, Your Majesty. I have learned greatly from your people. Queen Lyra rose gracefully from her throne, stepping forward slowly. Trust once broken is difficult to repair. Yet you have proven that sincere efforts can heal wounds. Your commitment and genuine actions have restored our confidence. Jason felt deep relief wash over him. I promise to always honor and respect your people. Humanity deeply values this friendship and alliance. Queen Lyra nodded solemnly. You have earned your second chance, Ambassador Miller. From this day forward, you shall be honored as a friend and ally of Azulian people. The entire hall erupted in applause and cheers. Jason felt deeply grateful, his heart swelling with pride and gratitude. Haley and Mira smiled warmly, sharing. In the joyous moment, that evening, Jason sat quietly in the palace gardens, reflecting on the journey he had taken. Haley joined him quietly, her face peaceful and content. You did it, Jason, Haley said warmly. You proved your sincerity and rebuilt trust. Only because you and Mira stood by me, Jason replied humbly. I couldn't have done it without you both. Haley smiled gently. It's amazing what sincerity and kindness can achieve, isn't it? Jason nodded, gazing at the stars above. Yes, it is. And now we have a chance to build a strong and lasting friendship between humanity and the Azulian Empire. They sat quietly, together, grateful for the journey they had shared, knowing that the bonds forged through trials and sincerity would last long into the future. Jason Miller felt a surge of hope as he stood before Elder Roland. The wise Azulian leader studied Jason quietly, his eyes gentle but stern. Jason knew convincing Queen Lyra wouldn't be easy, but he was determined to make amends. "What exactly must I do, Elder Roland?" Jason asked humbly. "You must offer Queen Lyra a sacred gift," Elder Roland explained. "Something meaningful and deeply personal, showing your genuine respect for our people. Do you have any suggestions?" Jason asked, unsure what gift would be suitable. The elder nodded solemnly. "The ancient crystal flower. It symbolizes peace, unity, and respect among Azulians. Only someone pure-hearted and sincere can retrieve it." Myra's eyes widened in concern. "Elder Roland, the crystal flower grows in dangerous terrain. The journey will be perilous." Jason quickly stepped forward, determination burning in his eyes. "I'm ready for the challenge. Tell me where to find it." Elder Roland smiled slightly, impressed by Jason's bravery. "It grows atop the Crystal Peak, beyond the Dark Valley. Many have attempted this journey, but few have succeeded." Jason felt his heart beat faster. "I'll go immediately. There's no time to waste." "I'll accompany you," Haley said firmly, standing beside Jason. "You won't do this alone." Myra stepped forward too, her face set with determination. "And I'll join as well. Your cause is noble, Jason. You deserve our help." Elder Roland raised his hand in blessing. "Go now, and may you find the crystal flower safely. Remember, your journey itself will prove your sincerity." Jason, Haley, and Mira thanked Elder Roland before quickly leaving the sanctuary. They journeyed toward the Crystal Peak, traveling quietly but swiftly. Jason felt grateful for his companion's support and kindness. They crossed lush meadows and deep forests, finally reaching the edge of the dark valley. The valley was a vast, shadowy expanse, filled with twisted trees and strange, whispering sounds. "Stay close," Myra warned, leading them carefully forward. "The valley holds many hidden dangers." Jason stayed alert, carefully stepping over tangled roots and slippery stones. Suddenly, an eerie growl echoed through the darkness. They froze, hearts pounding. "What was that?" Haley whispered, "FEARFULY. Mira held up a calming hand. "Shadow! Beasts. They're blind but have sharp hearing. Stay silent and move slowly." Jason moved carefully, focusing on each quiet step. The shadow beast growls grew closer, their heavy breathing audible nearby. Jason felt his heart race but maintained his calm. After a tense, silent passage through the darkness, they finally emerged safely from the valley. Breathing relief, they stood at the base of Crystal Peak, the mountain towering above them. "We made it," Jason said quietly, gazing upward. The peak shimmered beautifully in the sunlight, covered in crystals. "Now the hard part," Haley remarked, looking at the steep climb ahead. Jason took a deep breath and began climbing, his hands gripping carefully on the jagged rocks. Haley and Mira followed closely, encouraging each other through difficult sections. The higher they climbed, the colder and windier it became, making the ascent challenging. Jason reached out to help Haley as she slipped slightly. "Careful," he warned softly, pulling her safely up beside him. They continued upward, driven by determination and unity. After hours of difficult climbing, Jason finally glimpsed a beautiful sight ahead, a glowing flower made entirely of crystal, sparkling softly at the summit. "That's it," Jason exclaimed softly, his heart swelling with hope. They climbed the final stretch. Reaching the crystal flower at last. Jason gently took the crystal flower in his hands, feeling its warmth and energy. "It's incredible," he whispered, awestruck by its beauty. Myra smiled warmly. "This flower symbolizes unity. By offering this to Queen Lyra, you'll show your genuine respect." Jason nodded firmly. Let's hurry back. Queen Lyra must see this immediately. Their journey down the mountain was quicker but still filled with care. Returning through the dark valley, they moved carefully, aware of the shadow beasts lurking nearby. Finally reaching safer terrain, they hurried back to the Azulian palace. As they approached the palace gates, Azulian guards stopped them sharply. Halt! Ambassador Miller, you are forbidden entry. Jason stepped forward respectfully. Please, we must see Queen Lyra. I have something important to offer her. Myra pleaded with the guards. Allow us passage. The Elder Council supports our mission. After brief consideration, the guards relented, escorting them cautiously inside. Jason felt his pulse quicken as he stood once more before Queen Lyra. Her expression was cold and unyielding. Why have you returned, Ambassador? Queen Lyra demanded, her voice sharp with displeasure. Jason bowed deeply, stepping forward slowly. Your Majesty, I come to humbly apologize and offer a symbol of peace and respect. Carefully, Jason presented the crystal flower, its gentle glow illuminating the hall. Gasps of awe filled the chamber as Queen Lyra stared in surprise, her expression softening slightly. You risk much to retrieve this, Queen Lyra acknowledged cautiously. Jason met her eyes sincerely. I did, Your Majesty, to prove my genuine regret. Please, forgive my careless words and allow me to restore trust between our peoples. The Queen stepped down from her throne, approaching Jason carefully. She took the crystal flower gently, examining it thoughtfully. This flower is precious to Azulians, symbolizing unity and sincerity. Your actions show bravery and humility. Jason felt a deep relief and gratitude. Thank you, Your Majesty. My only desire is peace and understanding between us. Queen Lyra nodded slowly, her voice thoughtful. Perhaps your intentions are genuine after all. I must consider carefully. Until then, you will remain under supervision but as our guest. Jason bowed respectfully, accepting her decision gratefully. Haley and Mira shared relieved smiles, knowing they had taken a crucial step forward. As they left the throne room, Jason felt newfound hope and determination. His journey had taught him invaluable lessons about humility and respect. He now understood the true weight of his responsibilities as a diplomat. With patience and sincerity, he believed they could still mend the trust between humanity and the Azulian Empire. Jason Miller sat on the cold, hard bench inside his prison cell, feeling defeated. The walls around him were made from a strange, smooth metal that reflected a dim blue glow. He shivered slightly, realizing how badly things had turned out. He had hoped to build a bridge between humanity and the Azulian people, but instead he had deeply insulted their queen and now awaited execution. Lost in thought, Jason didn't immediately notice footsteps approaching. When he finally looked up, he saw Haley Green standing by the cell bars. Her eyes were filled with concern. Jason, are you all right? Haley asked quietly, her voice gentle and caring. I've been better, Jason replied sadly. How did you manage? To visit me? I asked the guards for a brief audience, Haley said softly. They're strict, but one guard is somewhat sympathetic. He allowed a quick visit. Jason sighed deeply. Haley, what am I going to do? One careless word has put our whole mission at risk. I understand your frustration, Haley responded calmly. But we mustn't lose hope. We need a plan. Jason leaned forward, hope flickering in his eyes. Do you really think we can fix this? Yes, Haley assured him firmly. We just have to prove your sincerity to Queen Lyra and the Azulian people. Perhaps we can find allies among the Azulians who understand your mistake. Just then, a shadow appeared behind Haley. She quickly stepped aside, revealing a young Azulian woman named Mira. Her eyes glowed softly, full of warmth and curiosity. Who are you? Jason asked cautiously. My name is Mira, she replied gently. I was in the throne room when you made your unfortunate remark. I believe your mistake was innocent. Jason's eyes widened with surprise and gratitude. Thank you, Mira. But why would you help me? Because peace matters, Mira explained with quiet determination. Not all Azulians agree with the Queen's harsh decision. There are others who understand humans better, who know your comment wasn't meant to offend. Haley looked hopeful. Can you help us find these people? Maybe they can persuade Queen Lyra to reconsider her judgment. Myra nodded confidently. There is an ancient council of Azulian elders. They hold great wisdom and influence. If you can explain your actions to them, they might intervene on your behalf. That sounds promising, Jason said, feeling a slight glimmer of hope. But how do we reach them? I'm locked inside this cell. We'll find a way, Mira assured him. I know secret paths through the palace, but we must act swiftly. Time is running out. Jason stood up, resolve building inside him. I'm ready. I'll do whatever it takes to correct my mistake. Haley exchanged a determined glance with Jason. Then we move quickly. Myra, what's our first step? Myra glanced cautiously toward the corridor. I will distract the guards, and you both must follow me carefully. Stay quiet and move swiftly. Jason took a deep breath, steadying his nerves. Myra motioned for them to follow as she quietly opened the cell door. Jason's heart raced as he stepped out, silently thanking his good luck and Mira's bravery. Move stealthily through narrow hallways, keeping close to the walls. Myra's knowledge of hidden passages helped them avoid detection by the palace guards. Jason admired her courage and quick thinking. Feeling immense gratitude as they reached an old wooden door, Myra pushed it gently open, revealing a hidden tunnel that led beneath the palace. They slipped inside quietly, and Mira closed the door softly behind them. This tunnel will lead us to the outskirts of the palace grounds, Myra explained quietly. From there, we can journey safely to the Elder Sanctuary. The tunnel was dark and damp, and Jason stumbled occasionally on uneven ground. Haley stayed close, offering silent support. After what felt like an eternity, they reached the tunnel's exit, stepping out into the cool night air beneath a starlit sky. Jason took a deep breath, relieved to have escaped immediate danger. How far is this sanctuary? It is a day's journey by foot, Myra answered calmly. We must move quickly and avoid detection. As they traveled, Jason listened intently to Mira, describing Azulian customs and traditions. He felt increasingly remorseful for his careless mistake, fully understanding now how deeply Azulians valued respect and honor. Hours passed, and dawn broke over the Azulian landscape, bathing everything in soft golden light. They paused briefly near a quiet stream, drinking the cool water and gathering their strength. We must continue, Myra urged gently. We are close. The sanctuary's just beyond those hills. Jason nodded, determined. Despite his exhaustion, he felt stronger with each step, driven by the need to make amends. Finally, after a long and tiring trek, they reached the ancient sanctuary hidden deep within a lush forest. Huge trees surrounded the sacred place, their leaves whispering softly in the breeze. Mira led them to a clearing where an ancient Azulian stood waiting, his eyes wise and patient. Welcome, the elder greeted them warmly. I am Elder Roland. We have expected your arrival. Jason stepped forward respectfully, bowing deeply. Elder Roland, I am Jason Miller. I deeply regret my careless insult to your queen and people. Please help me make things right. Elder Roland studied Jason intently, his expression thoughtful. Your sincerity is clear. Tell us your story, Ambassador Miller. Jason spoke earnestly, explaining his intentions, the accidental slip, and his profound respect for Azulian culture. Elder Roland listened carefully, nodding occasionally as Jason expressed genuine remorse. Finally, Elder Roland raised his hand, signaling for silence. Your words touch our hearts, Jason Miller. We sense your honesty and humility. However, convincing. Queen Lyra will require something truly special, an extraordinary gesture of humility and sincerity. I understand, Jason replied firmly. Whatever is needed, I will do it. Elder Roland nodded slowly, his eyes gentle yet firm. Then prepare yourself, Jason Miller. The path ahead is difficult, but redemption is possible. Jason looked at Haley and Mira, both standing strong and supportive beside him. With their help and his newfound determination, he knew he could face whatever challenges lay ahead and restore the honor and respect between their two worlds. Jason Miller took a deep breath as he stood before the massive shimmering gates of the Azulian Palace. His heart raced and his palms felt sweaty. This was his first official meeting as a human ambassador with Queen Lyra, the revered ruler of the Azulian Empire. Jason glanced nervously at the grand entrance adorned with blue gems, trying to calm his anxiety. His assistant, Kevin Lewis, nudged him gently. "Relax, Jason. It's just a diplomatic greeting. You've practiced this many times." "No," Jason replied quietly. "But what if I mess up? This is crucial. Humanity needs this alliance." Kevin patted his shoulder reassuringly. "You're ready. Just breathe and focus." Jason nodded and straightened his posture as the grand doors slowly opened. He stepped into a vast hall filled with Azulian nobles. Their deep blue skin glowed softly under the palace lights, and their curious eyes turned to observe the human visitor. Jason felt the pressure grow heavier. At the far end of the hall, Queen Lyra sat on a high throne. She was magnificent, dressed in flowing robes embroidered with silver threads that complemented her vivid blue complexion. Her eyes, deep and intense, focused entirely on Jason as he approached. "Welcome, Ambassador Miller," Queen Lyra spoke clearly, her voice smooth but authoritative. "We have awaited your arrival with great interest." Jason bowed deeply, showing respect. "Thank you, Your Majesty. It is an honor to be in your presence." Queen Lyra tilted her head slightly, evaluating him. "We Azulians greatly value mutual respect and dignity. We hope you will represent humanity with the utmost care." Jason raised his head, feeling slightly more confident. "Of course, Your Majesty. Humanity comes seeking peace, friendship, and collaboration. We deeply respect Azulian culture and traditions." The Queen leaned forward slightly, intrigued. "Tell me, Ambassador Miller, what do humans think of our kind?" Jason hesitated briefly, searching carefully for the right words. His anxiety surged again, making his mind blur for a moment. He thought of the unique and striking blue skin of the Azulians. His mouth opened, but instead of the carefully rehearsed words, his nervousness caused him to blurt out, "Well, honestly, many humans find your appearance interesting. Some even jokingly compare your blue color to ... Smurfs." Immediately, Jason realized his mistake. The hall fell into a stunned silence. Queen Lyra's eyes widened in shock and then narrowed sharply with anger. Her face hardened, becoming stern and unforgiving. "Did you just call me a Smurf, Ambassador?" she demanded icily. Jason felt a wave of panic wash over him. "No, Your Majesty, I mean silence." Queen Lyra's voice thundered through the hall. "You have insulted not only me but our entire race. Do you understand the gravity of your disrespect?" Jason's heart sank deeply. He frantically tried to correct himself. "Please, Your Majesty, forgive me. It was a foolish slip of the tongue. I meant no offense." Queen Lyra rose from her throne, her robes billowing around her elegantly as her eyes flashed with fierce anger. "Azulians have faced ridicule and disrespect for centuries because of our appearance. We have endured enough humiliation. This insult is unacceptable." "Your Majesty, I deeply apologize," Jason pleaded sincerely, his voice desperate. "It was a foolish mistake, nothing more. Humanity genuinely respects your people." Queen Lyra raised her hand, silencing him once again. Her voice, cold and final, echoed clearly through the hall. "Ambassador Miller, your mistake is unforgivable. By Azulian law, such an insult must be punished severely. I hereby sentence you to execution." A shocked gasp echoed throughout the chamber. Jason felt the blood drain from his face as the Azulian guards moved swiftly toward him. His legs felt weak and despair filled him. Kevin stepped forward urgently. Your Majesty, please reconsider. Ambassador Miller's statement was unintentional. Queen Lyra turned her piercing gaze on Kevin, clearly. Unmoved? There will be no reconsideration. Respect must be upheld and dignity preserved. Jason was seized by the strong hands of Azulian guards and forced to his knees. His mind raced, desperately searching for a solution or a way to convince the Queen of his innocence. Queen Lyra, please, he shouted, hoping his voice could reach. Her heart, allow me to atone for my mistake. Execution will only harm relations between our peoples. Queen Lyra paused briefly, staring down at Jason with a thoughtful yet unforgiving expression. The only harm caused here, Ambassador, is by your careless words. Humanity must understand the importance of respect and the cost of disrespect. With a wave of her hand, she dismissed his plea. Take him away. His execution will be carried out swiftly. The Azulian nobles watched silently as Jason was dragged out of the hall. His eyes met Haley Green, a young human woman he had briefly noticed among the audience earlier. Her gaze was sympathetic and sorrowful as Jason was led down the dim, narrow halls toward the prison cells. Regret and panic filled his heart. He had failed not only himself but humanity as a whole. His thoughts raced, seeking desperately for a way out, a solution to rectify this grave misunderstanding. Locked inside a small, dimly lit prison cell, Jason sat heavily on the rough floor. He buried his face in his hands, desperately hoping for a miracle, a second chance to make things right and to repair the catastrophic damage caused by a single careless mistake.